Bianca Belair, the EST of the WWE. The strongest, the fastest, the quickest, the best. But what about the dirtiest? The grimiest? The slimiest? That's where Bianca's heading. This heel turn is going to turn her into the modern day dirtiest player in the game. I know Bianca's hands are dirty with the attack with Jade Cargill. Look at the way Naomi looked back at Bianca as soon as Jade made her return. Those two weren't happy to see her. They were surprised. They were shocked. They were nervous, anxious. If your friend was attacked and made this return after many months being on the shelf, shouldn't you be jumping in joy? You should be. But Bianca helped orchestrate this plan. Whether she physically did it, I'm not quite sure. Whether it was just Naomi, I'm not sure. I'm not really sure Naomi is in a role where she would have attacked Jade and left her laying like that by herself. That's honestly what I think. There's not many women on the roster that could leave Jade Cargill on the shelf like that. So that there should have your suspicion levels up. That there should make you think, oh, this isn't a one-person job. Now, of course, you think Liv and Raquel. That was the misdirection they showed us. Right? We had seen the video, but we didn't know where it came from. We didn't know who sent it, but we seen Liv and Raquel were in the parking lot. Big deal. We didn't see the attack for a reason. They left the door open for a reason. That would have made sense, right? Those two together could have taken Jade out. But as we know now, that's not what happened. It was clearly Naomi. Naomi's the one that benefited the most. Truthfully, she's the one that stepped up and become a women's tag team champion to fill Jade's spot, right? Because Bianca and Jade were tag team champs. Bianca needed a new partner. And look what Bianca did. Immediately said to Nick Aldis, oh, Naomi will step up. No care for her friend. No care for her tag team partner. All the concern was on who can step up. And conveniently, they had a third person right there. Bianca has a lot of reasons to turn heel. Whether that's in story or in real life, right? Like at this point, she's kind of been, I'm not going to say she's kind of just been stuck in the mud, but she's been in the tag division. They're trying to elevate the tag titles, but Bianca's, let's be honest, she's a WrestleMania main eventer. She's above the tag team division. WWE has not poured into this tag team division. They have not given it the proper care. They helped. Bianca and Jay did help elevate it, but it's just the division's not there. It's never going to get to that level until they actually develop real tag teams. There needs to be more women on the roster, and they're just getting rid of them. Sonya Deville gone. Carmella gone. They're getting rid of these women, but they're adding new titles. How are you going to keep cutting women from the roster, not renewing contracts, very talented women, and then add a mid-card title on Raw, add a mid-card title on SmackDown? Develop this tag team division that's been nothing since its existence. When the tag team titles were debuted, they still didn't even have a tag division then. They just did it to do it. They had no real plan, no real direction. So Jade and Bianca made sense, right? Jade was still getting used to WWE television. It helped putting her on television next to Bianca. It helped them being a tag team. Obviously, it was helping get Jade over. Not that she quite needed it, but just for the people that didn't watch AEW. The people that weren't familiar with her. Her being aligned with Bianca obviously could help. Do wonders. Really, if you've never seen Jade Cargill work before, seeing her team with Bianca, boom, that helps. But if you look at it within story, when Jade made her first official match debut, it was in the Royal Rumble of 2024. Right? She eliminated Naomi. Those three end up aligning. They have their match at WrestleMania. They're one big happy group. But she did eliminate Naomi. The vendetta started there. Naomi's issues started there. That was also the same Royal Rumble Naomi made her return. Overshadowed. Her moment didn't matter anymore. Right? Because Jade's debut was bigger, more impactful. People forgot about Naomi. This is continuing to grow and grow right in front of our eyes, and we're just overlooking it. They threw the misdirection, right? Bayley stepped in at War Games because Jade was supposed to be a part of the War Games team. She gets attacked. There needs to be a new slot. There's the misdirection. People start pointing the finger towards Bayley. Bayley just stepped up because they needed the person. Bayley had no reason to attack Jade. What reason did she have? The War Games match itself, there's nothing on the line. It's just rivalries. So why would Bayley be so desperate? Why would Bayley be so desperate to get into that match that she would attack somebody like Jade? She has no reason to. Something like the Royal Rumble, the Money in the Bank, sure. There's real stakes. There's a reward there. But something like War Games, there's no reason for Bayley to attack her. Clearly a misdirect. Not to mention, Bayley had just left Damage Control a few months prior to that. She had just turned face. There was no reason for Bayley to start becoming a heel again. Bianca, on the other hand, we have not seen her unleashed on the main roster. She was a heel in NXT for a little bit because that's what the EST character is supposed to be. It's supposed to be a heel. If you look at it, the strongest, the biggest, the fastest, the toughest, isn't that the favorite? Isn't that the heel? That's not a baby face. That's not somebody fighting back from under. She was meant to be a heel. She's done a tremendous job as a face. Everyone loves Bianca. From the look, from the presentation, to the movesets, to the matches, everything. She's been tremendous. But it is time for a new coat of paint. And in this modern WWE, with John Cena just turning heel, The Rock turned heel last year being the final boss, Roman Reigns is the tribal chief the last couple of years carrying the WWE Championship as a heel. Heels are starting to take over and showing you can be a top guy. You can be the main eventer as a heel and be over. And people will appreciate it. And we're in a different era now where it's not just getting booed. If you're doing the proper work, you're going to get cheered. You're going to get appreciated. Look at Drew McIntyre. He's supposed to be a heel, but the character work is so undeniable, we all appreciate it. So anybody can turn heel at this point. Truthfully, Bianca can definitely turn heel, and that will happen. Whether that's at WrestleMania, she cheats to win. Maybe Jade reveals the footage before WrestleMania. Bianca's a heel heading into WrestleMania. Or Jade reveals the footage following WrestleMania. But I have to imagine at some point, Jade Cargill is going to have the footage. She's going to have the video evidence that Bianca was a part of it. Maybe the video comes after Jade attacks Bianca. Right? Because why did Jade go straight at Naomi? Why didn't she go at Bianca? She doesn't have the video evidence yet. Right? Clearly. But I think it's going to come. At some point, whether it's that or maybe Bianca just admits it. She just admits she was the one behind it all. And she was jealous. Jade stepped in, was stealing her spotlight. Whatever it is. Maybe she was just upset for Naomi, who's her true friend, who was her friend longer. Maybe she was upset at everything I mentioned with the Royal Rumble, with Jade eliminating her, overshadowing her return back to WWE. Whether it's that or it's something else, this is going to have obviously twists and turns along the way. That's undeniable. That's certainly going to happen. But I think Bianca is going to be unleashed, and I think she's going to turn into one of the best heels the WWE has ever had, especially in the women's division. We already have the seeds planted with Rhea Ripley and Bianca. A few weeks back, I had said, if they do that match at WrestleMania 41, they are wasting that match. That is a WrestleMania 42 match. You watch. They might end up doing a triple threat with EO, but there's a reason they're not doing the one-on-one match. Because that story, that feud, needs a real build. Not just Bianca wins the Elimination Chamber. Here's your number one contender match at WrestleMania. No. That match can main event a night 2 of WrestleMania. If that has the proper story, that is the main event. Bianca versus Rhea Ripley, they have kept that on the back burner for many years now. They've been on the main roster for a couple years. They have not had a proper feud. They are saving it. And that, when it does happen, should and will main event WrestleMania. Whether that's night 1, that's night 2, we'll see. We'll see what else is on the card at the time, because it's obviously not happening this year. Like I said, they might do the triple threat. That's fine. I wouldn't do it. I would hold off. I would keep those two away from each other in terms of having a match until you're going to do the one-on-one match. And I think that will be your WrestleMania 42 main event. A year of Bianca as a true heel. Just dominating the women's division. And then Rhea Ripley just continuing to build as the ultimate face. Right? Because I don't think Rhea's turning heel. They kind of on Raw were teasing maybe, she's upset, she's angry at Bianca, but I don't think that's going to lead to the heel turn. I mean, Rhea was just in the Judgment Day for a while as a heel. And she just left the Judgment Day over the summer, so she's kind of only stepped into the role back as a face for 6-7 months now. I'm not ready to see her back as a heel. I don't want to boo her anyways. Bianca, on the other hand, if we want to turn her, it makes sense because, as I said, she's been a face for years. But I know Bianca is going to be revealed as being a part of this plan. There's no way she won't be. Because how is she just moving on? Even look at her. Naomi just got attacked, beat bad by Jade. And then on Monday Night Raw, Bianca's out. Just moved on. Barely makes note of it. She's sticking her nose in the Women's World Title match, getting involved there. She doesn't even care Naomi got attacked. She is showing, she is turning right in front of our faces, and some people refuse to believe it. Right? Some people still want to believe it's Liv and Raquel, or Bayley, or whoever else, Nia Jax. But it's not. The true money is clearly in Jade versus Bianca. I think everyone knew that from the beginning. As soon as those two were put on television next to each other in a tag team, you immediately sat back and said, okay, when those two have a match, that's going to be big. That's going to be real big. And that's just where we're heading. Interesting enough, at the time when Jade had first debuted, I would have guessed Jade would be the heel in the story. Because at that time, I wouldn't have thought Bianca was going to turn. I would have thought she would stay as a face. She'd continue to do her thing. But I don't think so. I think at this point, she's turning heel. Bianca versus Jade, we'll see when that happens, right? Because Bianca should be walking out of WrestleMania 41 as the Women's World Champion. So those two are going to have a feud over the Women's World Title, it looks like. I don't know if Jade will capture it then. Bianca wins it back, but I think Bianca's going to be walking into WrestleMania 42 as the Women's Champion against Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley is going to be chasing that title for a year now. I think so. I think the whole year is going to be about her redemption, her getting back to the title. Because I kind of think that's just where Rhea works best. She did great as champion, don't get me wrong. But I think chasing is better suited for her. And I think Bianca, being a proper heel, is going to fit this perfectly. And I think this will give Rhea what she needs in the chase. And this will help make Jade, by the way. Jade hasn't quite had a whole bunch of singles matches. I hope she's ready for it. I mean, within the WWE, of course. Obviously, she had the run in AEW. She was the TBS champion. But I mean, in the WWE. There were rumors at first that WWE thought she was a little behind on progress or whatever it is. I don't think they're worried about that now. And I think they're showing that by putting her in this position. I would imagine we get Jade versus Naomi at WrestleMania. I hope that makes the card because it's one of the best stories going right now. It deserves the card. I don't want to see that on the SmackDown before or the SmackDown following. I want that at WrestleMania. I think they deserve it with the story they're telling. And I think Jade is going to win that, of course. And then I think she's going to move into the feud with Bianca for the Women's World Championship. And I think Jade is ready to step up and prove she's ready for these singles championship matches. Prove she's deserving of singles matches on PLEs. But there is no question in my mind that Bianca was involved. I know she was. The seeds are planted right in front of us. They are telling us without telling us she was involved. My guess is we don't get it revealed until after WrestleMania. After Bianca wins the Women's World Title. And then we're getting Jade versus Bianca over the next couple months. Maybe that story ends at SummerSlam. But I'm ready for Bianca's heel turn. I think she's going to kill it. I think she's ready for this. And I can't wait to see it. And then on the other side of things, Montez Ford. He recently turned heel. Maybe it's time we get Bianca and Montez on television together. They're both heels. We could easily see them align. Montez, whether, he turns on Angelo Dawkins or whether they stay a tag team, I could see it either way. But I think now is the time we get heel Bianca to align with Montez on television. And that'll do wonders for Montez. I mean, everyone wants to see him as a singles competitor, right? We kind of feel like he's being held back being in the tag team. They could have ended the Street Profits 2 years ago, and I don't think anybody would complain. They've tried to turn him heel. They've put him with Bobby Lashley. They're just not quite getting there. And it's not because those guys aren't talented. I just think everyone's over the Street Profits at this point, and they're just ready to see Montez do his thing as a singles competitor. And I think putting Bianca in his corner, helping him cheat to win, things like that will do wonders for him. The sky's the limit. I think that is where we're heading. I don't know how long it'll take to get there. That could be 6 months from now. But I think within the next year, we're going to see Montez and Bianca on television aligned as heels. And I think they're going to have some gold together. Bianca is clearly going to hold the women's world title. Montez, whether it's the United States Championship or, as I mentioned, whether he stays with the Street Profits and they win the tag team titles at WrestleMania. But I think this is coming, and I can't wait for it. Guys, let me know in the comments. Am I right? Am I wrong? Should I be pointing my finger at Bianca? Is it somebody else? Please like, comment, share, subscribe.